Joey, welcome back.
Conventions. An arranged meeting or gathering of individuals usually based around a common interest. There's plenty of them, from Comic-Con to Gamescom, E3 to BlizzCon. Conventions come in all different shapes and sizes. Even weirdly specific or strange cons, like the convention of Abraham Lincoln impersonators, or Lincoln for short, Vent Haven Ventriloquist Convention, or the World Clown Association Convention. Now, I have found myself at a handful of conventions or events through my years of being a degenerate gamer, and they always seem to follow a similar template. So after you've purchased your tickets and made your way to the venue, it's time to enter. And right away, you're met with a staple of any convention: the snake queue. We've all experienced one at some point in our lives. Reminiscent of any airport, it's the classic back and forth queue design. Very space efficient, but you dare even step an inch out of line, and it's the death penalty. I haven't seen anything so strictly regulated in all of my life. In fact, I remember I turned up slightly late to a convention once, to the point where everybody had already gone in, and the line was empty. Not a soul was there. Now, I assumed I'd be fine to lift the little rope up and slide right in at the front. Boy, was I wrong. I was made to solo walk the entire pilgrimage of the queue. Just some tiny old lady sat in a little booth watching my journey from halfway across the building. Maybe they're enforced with some sort of force field. Who knows? Anyway, once you finally make it to the front of the queue-length equivalent of War and Peace, you're usually given either a lanyard around one's neck or a wristband, usually varying colours based on the quality of ticket you've bought and the amount of money you've spent. So you can be judged by everyone at the event. They're nearly always put on far too tight to the point where it cuts off blood flow, and we all know that one guy that has an arm full of wristbands from every single event he's attended for the past 12 years. Although, they are near impossible to remove, so this might not be by choice. Sometimes you're even given a goodie bag too, but don't get too excited because they usually contain a t-shirt that is 6 sizes too small and an enamel pin you'll never wear, shove in a drawer and forget about for the rest of eternity. So once you make it through border control, you're in the event. Now, of course, this varies depending on what convention you're at, but there's usually stores, stands, stalls of different varieties, and shit tons of people. Now, I couldn't mention conventions and not mention cosplay. Now, cosplay is a huge part of a lot of events. People dressing up as their favourite characters from movies, TV shows, and anime. Some events even host cosplay contests. Now, I don't personally partake in the act of cosplaying, but it's always fun seeing the effort and design that's gone into it all. And it's always surreal seeing a bloke dressed as Thor in line to play the next FIFA game. I mean, a convention is the only place you can go into the bathroom and have a piss stood next to Goku and Reaper from Overwatch. In fact, cosplays are so well considered. I recently went to an event that featured a weapons checkpoint, and I thought, okay, fair enough, I am in England, more specifically London. But I didn't think a convention would be a key area for knife violence until I realised it was an inspection point for cosplay weapons. So there was just this line full of people handing over a portal gun, blades of chaos, and a foam diamond sword for military inspection. Now, yet another common feature of a lot of conventions is the bring your own PC area. Pretty much just a gigantic hall of gaming PCs. A Linus wet dream.
I ordered purple.
Sure, it's cool seeing everyone's PC builds, but nothing screams gamer more than sitting at home on your PC for 10 hours a day compared to sitting on your PC for 10 hours a day at a convention. Or my personal favourite, for people that haven't lugged their PC along with them, the LAN area. Whenever I see a sign for one of these things at a convention, my eyes light up. Pretty much, it's just an area of rows of PCs playing a game on a singular LAN-hosted server. And people can hop on and off the rigs to play with your fellow convention goers. Now, normally, this is quite a wholesome idea. Everybody playing together in harmony. Then, I arrive. Now, everybody's favourite game, Minecraft, is quite a common title for these LAN areas. So you have around 15 to 20 children playing on a singular Minecraft server, and a free PC calling your name to join in on the building fun. So I crack my knuckles, sit down, and single-handedly ruin the entire server. Now, you usually do have moderators of these LAN areas. 2 guys sat down watching across all the monitors to make sure that nobody is up to no good. But as you can imagine, watching 25 kids playing Minecraft for 8 hours a day can get a little tedious. So they're nearly always playing solitaire in a separate tab. And that is when you strike, causing as much damage as possible. And with every player's name tag being something along the lines of LAN_PC12, it's priceless seeing the owner of the house you just blew up stand up from his chair, look around to try and see the culprit. But of course, it's already too late. So to take a break from your trolling escapades, it's always fun to wander around and see the various stands. From unreleased games to overpriced clothing stores to those keyboard and mouse stands where the staff look at you and you kind of just stand there and click a few buttons and go, yeah, that feels good to me, like you're at some sort of 90s car dealership. As you awkwardly back off, buying nothing, knowing you've got a perfectly good keyboard and mouse at home. I remember once I was at a laptop stand with Rocket League installed. Now, I'd never played Rocket League with anything that wasn't a controller, so I thought, oh, whatever, I'll give it a go. While using a keyboard, I managed to score 3 own goals in 48 seconds, flipped my car, and accidentally alt-tabbed, until the staff asked me to stop playing because I was deterring people from coming to the booth. Also, quick convention survival tip, if you're hungry or thirsty, whatever you do not buy food and drink in the event because you'll be charged about £45 for 3 chips. Now, with conventions being home to a lot of newer titles or unreleased games, there usually is an over 18s area for games that are, well, rated Peggy 18. Son of a... Well, I remember the year that Black Ops 2 came out, I wanted to play that game so bad, I managed to scout out the over 18s area like some sort of military operation. Well, I swiftly realised that one of the security guards was an 80-year-old man with a bladder that, frankly, needed replacing. So as he headed off to the bog, I took my opportunity to strike, realising my child-sized body could slip through a small gap in the divider. And there I was. I made a beeline towards the Black Ops 2 booth. I couldn't wait. Until I was swiftly stopped by one of the staff members because I was a 4'0" 12-year-old in an area full of fully grown men. And how can we not mention content creators? See, conventions and events often invite big content creators in the hopes that all of their fans will buy tickets and go and meet them. And when I was a child, this tactic worked flawlessly. Now, don't get me wrong, I have no complaints about meeting your favourite online personalities, even if sometimes they do just stand in front of a board, you say 3 words to them, take a picture, and then move on. Or a Twitch streamer that sits in a glass booth and you stand in the background to get your 3 seconds of airtime and farm emotes in chat. But it is very fun meeting someone you're a fan of in person. If it goes smoothly, that is. Well, when I was a young whippersnapper, I ran into an unspecified Minecraft content creator at the time. I nervously asked them for a photo, and they were very kind and agreed. So I proceeded to pull out my iPod Touch, dropping it, falling in what felt like slow motion, and it landed face down on the floor. A large crowd of people gathered around me, including the YouTuber, who had to watch me peel my iPod off the floor. It was like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire type moment, where everybody was just waiting to see the verdict. Well, I flipped it over, and the screen was demolished. Regardless, I wiped away the tears, and I took the photo. And something I didn't realise till after the convention was every selfie I took that day with my online heroes had a massive fucking crack down the middle of the photograph. And if you're a convention planner, please, whatever you do not let YouTubers do a live Q&A on stage with their young fan base.
I'm done. Can you
So overall, conventions can be a great place to meet people with similar interests to you, play unreleased games, or meet your favourite content creators. They can be a great day out. Just pray to God that you don't turn up to a convention that is a poorly organised flop. Now, whilst we're on the topic of conventions, I myself will actually be at TwitchCon EU in Amsterdam from the 16th of July to the 17th of July. So if you see me there and you want to come and say hello, I'll be charging £50 per interaction. And with all of that said, goodbye!
Funnel! Choo, they will say 30 months, no message repeating, of course, no message repeating, of course. It's literally his message. Warrior